Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, Bom Dia ALEGRIA. Monson here with the Good Morning Portugal show live stream. Yes, it's a live stream this morning because it's a Filomena Friday.
Filomena Friday.
Absolutely. We'll play that whole jingle in just a moment. So, yeah, please say hi. Lovely to see so many of you here already. Filomena is bringing a special VIP guest with her this morning. It's Norman, who's been in Portugal for about 20 years. So really looking forward to speaking to Norman and welcoming you for this live stream. If you've got any questions about the Portuguese language or culture, please put them into the chat right away. Excellent fun last night. Expats Portugal webinar with Nuno Mendes from Winsurance. That was very informative and helpful. That will be up on the Expats Portugal YouTube channel on Sunday evening. Everything you need to know about using the health services here in Portugal and how insurance works with that. And then in the Town Hall Dream Team session, I was celebrating Portuguese fruit and didn't realize what an unholy image I was creating when holding these up. Talk about low-hanging fruit. What's your favorite special, exotic, and delicious and juicy fruit here in Portugal? Right, without further ado, some of this.
Friday. I need to learn the language to put me at ease.
Filomena Friday.
It's going to take time learning Portuguese.
Oh, yeah.
Filomena Friday.
I get confused nearly every day.
Filomena Friday.
How do I know which verb is okay?
Filomena Friday.
Practice those words so loud and clear.
Filomena Friday.
On a
Filomena Friday.
It's a day of cheer.
Filomena Friday.
Boom.
Tripsforbrits@gmail.com.
Oh, yes, let's give her a nice big round of applause. And Norman, of course. Hola, bom dia. Tudo bem?
Olá, bom dia.
Good morning,
Great to
bom
see you.
dia.
Good morning, bom dia. Great to meet you, Norman. Muito prazer.
Right.
You're doing well this morning. How is it in Miranda de
Yeah,
Corvo?
I'm all me.
You're all you. That's perfect. Excellent. We've had a little bit of rain here on the Silver Coast. Is it a little bit?
No rain here. Lovely day, lovely sunny day.
We'll keep it to ourselves over here then. I'm so glad Filomena could bring you along this morning, Norman. You've been in Portugal, what, around 20 years?
20 years, yeah. 2006 I came out, so I'm not
Amazing.
far off.
Almost 20 years.
Right. Okay. Should we have a big party next year? When
Good idea.
Excellent. Well, what first put Portugal on your map, or had you be here in the first place?
Only for holidays.
Oh, okay.
And that was usually in the Algarve.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my wife and myself at the time, we were sort of thinking about moving out of Britain to abroad. We thought about France, Spain, but when we came to Portugal, we found a whole different ball game.
Right.
The people were different, they were softer but nicer, and people spoke to you. But then we got talking to an architect up here in Penella, and it just progressed from there.
Snowballed from Penella up on the hill there. Amazing. Where are you from in the UK? I'm trying to figure out what little bit of the British accent I can hear. Are you from like Norfolk or Suffolk, somewhere like that?
Thank you very much indeed, but no.
Wrong. Sorry.
No. Can I explain?
Yeah, of course.
I come from Portsmouth originally.
Right. Okay.
I lived I finished my timing in the Guildford area, which is south.
Yeah. I was born at Kingston Hospital. I know where you mean. Guildford, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. South of London, Guildford. But I picked up my accent from all my travels.
Right.
And I did a lot of running around.
And 20 years in Portugal as well.
And 20 years in Portugal. So everybody does say, hey, what part of the West are you from? Or what part? And as you said, am I from Norfolk? No, but it's great fun because I know where I come from. And for other people, yes.
Amazing, amazing. So yeah, and I'm picking up a little bit of Miranda de Corvo accent there. I mean, 20
Yes, yes.
years ago, Penella and Miranda de Corvo would have been pretty much unknown by foreigners, wouldn't they?
In those days, yes, in my little village, there was only 2 of us when we started.
Amazing, amazing. Things are really changing now as well. So what are the big changes you've noticed in that time being here?
The big changes, well, obviously more traffic.
Yeah.
When I say more big cities, I have to be guilty and say I haven't done a lot of visiting other places. I've been to some of the bigger places, obviously Lisbon, Porto, Óbidos and places, but I don't get out much into the smaller villages. But obviously, if you've got more traffic, you have more people.
Yes.
And even when you go into places like Queenborough, plenty of parking spaces, but in saying that, when you're walking around, you're feeling people rather than looking for people.
Yes.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. No, I've spent more time in Lisbon than I'm used to in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to get out of the habit, isn't it? And to enjoy your open space and for it to be quite a shock when you get into the big city.
It is a big shock.
Yes.
It takes a bit while, albeit I might have had a bit of extra open sense because my early life was traveling the world.
Right.
In the Merchant Marine for 8 years.
Yeah.
And then when I eventually settled down, I did about 40 years of selling on the road, what we called on the road as a sales rep.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And I had 100 different companies that I worked for, so I won't go into that anyway.
That could take a while, but it sounds very interesting. What sort of things, just sort of briefly on that, what sort of things were you selling?
Mainly, I was in the garden trade.
Oh, okay, amazing. And is that of interest to you now? Are you a gardener?
One of Norman's passion.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I do love my garden.
Yeah. I have sent you a few pictures of his garden and also of the village. I don't know if you have time to show them.
I'd love to do that. Let's have a look at a few of those now. I'm just bringing them up on because it's quite the slideshow. So I need to load that up.
A few of them.
Yes, no, it's great. It's really good. And I need to find the right way of doing that. In the meantime, say hello to Deagle here, Deagle McKillen. We've also got Pete and somebody new to the screen, Ginjangina. I think we get an idea of what sort of alcohol you might like.
I don't know.
Oh no, Ginger Ninja. Okay, Ginger. I thought you were talking about Ginginha there, the Portuguese. Anyway, it's funny where one's mind can go, isn't it? Right. Okay, let's bring this onto the screen now. Let's share with you the photographs or the slideshow that Filomena has sent to us.
Yeah.
And a lot of these wonderful times you appear to be having in Portugal here, and so a bit of great picking, I'm thinking there.
That is definitely great picking.
Yeah,
and
wonderful.
About 3 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, excellent. Which particular vineyard? Can you give that location and brand away, or is that something?
Costa da Criveira, in Costa da Criveira, the usual great picking that I do every year.
Right. Okay. And they've got that lovely, fairly recently renovated centre in Penella, haven't they? Where they're in the old Lagar. Is that the same people?
Yes, in the old Lagar, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing company. I remember going to the reopening of that. I got invited there for some reason. Not sure why, but it was lovely to be there. And of course, after the picking comes the drinking, right?
Well, I wouldn't say the drinking, just the toast for the...
And eating.
And a bit of eating as well.
I will admit it was probably 2 glasses of wine as opposed to the usual one.
Okay, all right, pushing the boat out on that occasion there.
Yeah,
excellent.
But, hey, everybody's happy.
These are the sort of lovely things, I think, Norman, right, that make life in Portugal so fabulous, and presumably the attraction for you.
Yes, it does. Yeah. I didn't know any of these people, but look, we're all sitting there enjoying ourselves.
Absolutely wonderful.
And excellent. That for me is pure magic.
It is, isn't it? And I think you look pretty handy with the secateurs there.
Yeah, that's a different year because a different color of the t-shirt. Every year we get a different color.
Wonderful.
That's being useful in the garden. You see, you know how to use a secateur.
Ah, yes, of course. Yeah, you probably sold a few of those in your time as
Oh,
well.
Norman's daughter. Okay. That's Norman's daughter.
The Ginger Ninja here, 06 is Norman's daughter. Great to
If
have
you
you
want,
here.
if you want to let her in, I mean, it's up to you.
Very welcome. We've got Lance behind the scenes as well. Lance, let me know if you want to be on the screen, and if we've got any other members of Norman's friends and family. The link's going into the chat now, so come and join us behind the scenes. Lance, you let me know if you want to be on the screen or not. We're continuing with our slideshow here. It's also Europe Day, which Filomena is going to talk a little bit about. Portugal celebrating Europe Day, part of the EU, of course. And any questions you've got about the Portuguese language or culture, please pop them into the chat. Right, so really getting into the vines there, Norman.
Yes, because Norman, I have this picture here for you because it's to say that Norman is quite fit, although may I say how old you are? He's 87, okay?
Incredible.
He's 87 and he's a yoga teacher as well, so he still does yoga and swimming, isn't it? You can tell me.
Lots of walking.
Well, we definitely need to know what your secrets are there of health and vitality, Norman. And love to come back to the yoga teaching. We've got our slideshow here of you having fun here in Portugal. Now,
that one was Norman's birthday, and that was in my house. So we celebrated with a cake and some balloons and stuff.
Oh, wonderful! Nice cake as well. Very nice cake.
It was very tasty.
Parabéns, Norman, on there. At Golgao, I'm guessing.
Golgao, yes. Golgao, yeah.
Okay, on one of Filomena's tours. Excellent stuff. Brilliant. Helen's backstage as well. Is that Helen? Do you want to join us on the screen?
Okay. That's in Golgao as well, this picture.
Yeah,
Remember
okay.
the studio?
Oh, yes, that is Carlos. Oh, what's his name? The photographer.
Oh my God, I had a blank.
One of the first photographers here in Portugal.
Yes.
Relva?
Sorry, my brain. This has been a hard week. My brain is not.
No problem. We'll come back to that. Oh, I recognise this fella. Mac on the left there, of course.
Mac, and Paulo.
Paolo's there. And where are you off to on this particular trip?
This was a walking
This was here in Miranda, in Espinho, in Miranda, and we are doing the same the day after tomorrow.
Are you? Okay, so there's an event to talk about as well. Mac's looking happy there. Give him my best regards.
And of course, Andrea Rieu.
Yes, right. We've sung along with him, haven't we, in the past? Have you seen him live?
Yeah.
He comes and performs in Portugal from time to time, doesn't he? Very nice. Okay, by the tour bus. Is this your beautiful garden? Oh my word!
Part of my garden. Yeah,
that looks absolutely stunning. So, is it fair to say you've got a little bit of the British country garden mixed with the Portuguese sort of hybrid going on?
That I'm going to agree with you on. Yes.
Okay, it looks absolutely wonderful.
The beauty of gardening is you can lose yourself and just, hey, you're in a different world.
Yeah, that looks lovely. Really, really nice, peaceful.
Carlos Relvas, I remember.
Relvas, there you go. I was nearly there with that. Yeah, thank you for that. And who's this lady here?
This is one of my neighbours in the village.
Oh, okay.
She's older than I am. And she used to be up and down the village with the wheelbarrow, but her leg or knees gave out and she's unfortunately on the 2 sticks. She lives by herself. She has the daily visitors in, but she just one of these ladies that you just got to fall for because, hey, she's older than I am.
I think so. As a youngster, what do you push the wheelbarrow for her now? Then is that how?
No, she doesn't go out now.
Oh, okay. Bless her.
In fact, I just caught her closing her shutters on the windows.
How wonderful! How wonderful! What a lovely lady! Fantastic. Yeah. Proper donna of Portugal. Savannah, wonderful. And I'm thinking this might be an interior shot from your home.
This is in my kitchen, which is now called a cocina.
Cozinha.
Yeah, and a tribute to Grandad there. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much for the photos there, Filomena.
Yeah.
Thank you, Norman, for allowing us to share them.
Wonderful.
Helen, are you happy to join us on the screen, or are you wanting to watch backstage? Give us a thumbs up if you'd like to join us, Helen.
I'm awake now.
Hola, bom dia. She's awake now.
Hi. Hi, Dad.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, Helen, who are you? Just saying hi to Dad on the screen there.
Yeah.
And presumably, are you in Portugal or not, Helen?
No, I'm in Coventry.
In Coventry, right? Okay. So do you like popping over to see Dad here in Miranda de Cordova?
I haven't been for too long. I'm hoping to get over this summer. So.
Right. Okay. And what is it you like about Central Portugal when you come over?
I don't. It's difficult because I've only been a couple of times.
Right.
I like the sun, so the weather's got an awful lot to do with it.
You'll have to wait. I think this year for a bit of that. It's been a bit of.
Yeah, no, we've got it. We've had it this year.
Well,
I know it's more relaxed than it is here, but then I guess it's because I'm going on holiday. I'm not working there.
Yeah.
It would be very different, I think, if I went over there and had to work.
True.
Yeah. You know, because when you're working, it's just different anyway, isn't it? And I only work 4 days a week now, so.
All right. Well, it is actually quite relaxed here in Portugal, thankfully, and I think that's part of the attraction your dad was thinking of. He's a bit of a legend, isn't he? Really?
Oh yeah, in more ways than one.
Right, okay. I'm not sure if
we won't go into that.
Oh, really? Well, okay. Perhaps it's safer to stay with yoga and learning Portuguese. Then.
Yeah, he is my oldest student. He's my oldest student.
When did you start learning with Filomena, Norman? And how do you find her as a teacher, if I may ask?
Very strict, very strict.
Very strict. I know that.
Yeah, I think it was about 10 years ago, and she's a very good teacher. The only problem that I have in particular, and Helen will agree, Dad, you should listen more.
Yes, he should. He doesn't listen. He doesn't. He gets sort of half of what someone's saying, and then when he gets it wrong, he gets annoyed with himself. And you're like, well, if you'd listened in the first place, you know, typical woman actually to say it to a man. If you'd listened in the first place, you would have got it right.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing what you lack in listening, you might make up for in enthusiasm, Norman.
Yeah. I have to admit, the fun part of it is, and I say this for anybody, if you try the language, people appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like anybody learning any language, you get it wrong and you say the wrong words and you say, hey, okay, I made a mess.
Yeah.
I see Sarah's
just joined in. Yeah.
I mean,
I made a mess yesterday, so that's why.
It's fine. We'll come back to that. Just want let's make sure we say hi to Sarah as well. Other daughter Sarah here too. So
hi, Sarah.
Both daughters is it with us this morning?
I can't hear you. Still hi.
Yeah, and I mean that's very talking about sort of gender stereotypes here. Us men are always ready to apologise when we make a mistake, right, Norman?
Yes. Although both the girls would not agree to that one. In fact, I just got a little bit older and I'm thinking, hey, okay.
You might have mellowed a bit, Dad, because you weren't the best at apologising, were you?
No.
I did say that if I had two tongues, they would have been in both cheeks there. I've been in trouble for not apologising this week for sure. Right, yoga. That's a really great choice. Obviously, something that's helping you in terms of vitality as well.
Yes, indeed.
When did you get into yoga?
Oh, I got into yoga when I was probably in my 40s.
Right. Okay. And what possessed you?
Well, I'm not a sporting man. And I wanted something to do to keep myself fit because I was doing a lot of driving and I was putting on weight.
Right.
And somebody was talking and they said, well, why don't you try this yoga lark? And I went, and I have to be honest, I fell in love with it.
Yeah. I had a similar sort of experience, Norman. I think we've got a few similarities here, quite possibly. And I fell in love with it. It changed my life, actually. Was it the same for you? Was it really sort of a life-changing thing to get into?
It was, yes, indeed. I've always said, and particularly about getting older, with yoga, people say, "Oh, can't do that, stand up." No, it's not about standing on your head. In my book, it's about flexibility.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I told a lot of students, if you hold your hand out, you wiggle your fingers.
I'm doing
it. Okay, it might not move much, but eventually you move your fingers and it moves the tendons up to the arm, and eventually you're moving the whole arm.
Incredible.
That's yoga.
Yeah.
And let me add that he teaches in Portuguese.
Yes, I do. I did. Not good
Seriously?
Portuguese, but it was.
Is there? Can we do a little bit now? Is it like? Could we do chair yoga? A little bit of an exercise in Portuguese. Is that possible?
Well, are you willing to stand up?
For you, Norman, yes. As long as Filomena and Helen do as well.
Oh no, not a chance. I did yoga with him once, never again.
All right, okay. Well, maybe we'll do a yoga session another time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Right. So we're here to learn about Portuguese, obviously, when Filomena joins us on this particular Friday of the month. What's been going on, Filomena? And feel free to chip in, Norman, and you, Helen, as well. I'm not sure what your Portuguese
And
is.
Sarah, if Sarah wants to join us, I don't know.
Yeah, Sarah's. Look, are you connected?
Sarah is in Australia, Carl.
Right. Are you connected with Lance? I've got a Lance back screen.
No.
Okay.
No,
you're going to have to hit that link there, Sarah, and then we can bring you onto the screen for sure if you'd like to do that. But you're very welcome. But you're going to need to come into the let yourself into the studio on the link that I'm just putting into the chat now. Okay. So yes, we've also got from Pete. Helen, I won't forget you. Helen and Sarah, I won't forget your dad doing the walk a grade up from me, and Filomena and my wife and wives that knackered us. Okay, so you're clearly more flexible.
He's a star. Yes, he is a star.
Yeah, Norman the star with us this morning. You've got a fan here as well, Beginas Norman from Maria Madeira.
Beginas, yeah, muito obrigado.
Okay, or I might add oregano. I'll go back to that in just a moment because we've got another person learning Portuguese. But Sarah is with us now from Melbourne. Oh my word!
Hello, Sarah.
Incredible!
Hi everyone.
It's amazing.
Bom dia.
Bom dia. Oh, great to see you both, Helen and Sarah, on the screen. What have you got to say about your dad, Sarah? Live from Melbourne this morning.
Sarah, keep it pleasant. Don't tell the truth.
Keep it up.
I was about to say the same to you.
No, I've done my bit. This is your turn.
No, look, Dad's just wonderful. I get all my best traits from my dad. So, you know, what can I say? We both have that. we have that yearning for travel, and hence both of us ended up in different sides of the world and have a love for languages and a love for yoga and people. So, yeah, I'm my father's daughter.
And you're in Melbourne, obviously Australia, and yeah. heading home at the moment. Is that right? It's evening time.
No, you can meet the dog. I'm taking her for a walk.
Hello. Oh yeah. That was Lola. She's happy to go for an evening walk because, as you can see, the sun is going down.
Right? It's 5 o'clock now.
It looks lovely.
Yeah. It's in the evening.
Sarah's wide awake and I'm not.
It was a bit of an early start. Now, in Portuguese, of course, a dog is a cow, which can be quite interesting there as well.
But if it's a female, cadela. Uma cadela.
All right. And I was also thinking of renaming my pussy here and calling her Black Forest because she is a Black Forest gatto. Hoping for a bigger laugh than that. Anyway. So what do you make of your dad being a yoga teacher as well, Sarah?
I tell everyone I know that, you know, Dad's been teaching yoga as long as I've been alive, or doing yoga as long as I've been alive, which is not going to give away how long that is, but a very long time.
I will, Sarah.
I'm very proud of.
A little bit
younger than me. Sibling rivalry going on live on screen here. Yeah, look, I think it's fabulous, and whenever I'm talking about Dad, I always shout the fact that he really, he's an advocate for good health and well-being, and the fact that he teaches yoga in Portuguese is just phenomenal, because it's not an easy task for him to learn the language, and he does his absolute best. So it's fantastic.
Yes, he's doing
Wow.
great.
We're so proud.
An
I
example.
thank you all for your comments on that.
It's really fantastic. So yes, well, boa tarde to you then, Sarah. Thank you very much for joining us. Anything else you want to say before you carry on your dog walk?
Yeah, no, it's been great to join you. Thank you for the opportunity, and good to see you, Dad.
Yeah, how
See you on
lovely.
Good to see everybody on the screen at once, because this is the first time I've seen you both on the same screen at the same time.
In 20 years, that would be actually right.
Right. Can we have you know what? I tried to do a screenshot there, but Sarah, you had your eyes closed. So can we have a nice big smile from everybody, and I'll take a picture and send it to Norman. That's a good one. That is a good one. Okay.
A lot of enthusiasm.
I've got that. All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. And Helen, any sort of concluding words from you, Helen, before we get on with our Portuguese lesson here?
No, not really. I think between us, we've covered it all.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much for being here, both of you, coming on and saying about your dad. There.
Love you lots, Dad. Well, proud of you.
Right. How lovely was that? I've got a great photo to send you afterwards, Norman, with that, with everybody. And we can do a little bit of Portuguese now, I hope, and with additional commentary and insight from you as a legendary student of Filomena's there, Norman, and maybe some of the FAQs and things that you've struggled with and overcome learning the language. So what's been going on in the classes, Filomena? Are there any frequently asked questions or issues that are coming up that you might like to share with us this morning?
Yes, there are always lots of questions. Well, lately I have been extremely busy with also other kinds of work. For example, translations. I've had lots and lots of translations, and particularly this week, I have been working with 10 Turkish teachers. So they came from Turkey on Saturday, and they are leaving tomorrow also to Turkey. And I have been managing their stay, everything to do with what they do here and the school where they are working and everything. So it's been a hard working, a hard week in terms of conjugating everything, the lessons and managing the Turkish group and the translations and the marches populares, because I'm also training, I'm also practicing almost, twice, 3 times a week in the evening for next month's show in June. So a lot of things are going on at the same time, and I'm a bit exhausted, to be fair.
I can imagine.
But yes, I mean, there are always questions, especially about grammar, right? We know that grammar is very, very hard.
Yeah, but even the basics as well, to be fair. A very interesting conversation with Sarah Davey yesterday. And I'll come back to all the amazing work that you do, Filomena, because I'm sure Norman and I would like to pay a bit of a tribute to you and all that you do for everybody else. I was talking to Sarah Davey. Her mum and dad have been over, and Keith and Susan wanted to learn a little bit of Portuguese while they were here. So Sarah did her best to teach Keith how to say thank you, and he was heard one day while he was here. I think they'd had a lovely day in Sinatra, which was his first. Slight error. He said, "Well, a lovely day in Sinatra," and he was overheard saying oregano to a complete stranger the other day, instead of obrigado, of course. How do you think that might have gone down? How might that have gone down with a Portuguese person, do you think, Filomena?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, how do you think that might have gone down to a Portuguese person hearing
oregano?
You do something nice and someone says oregano to you.
Well, I think. What do you think, Norman?
I'm laughing because it puts me in the mind of a classic Only Fools and Horses, which was a comedy program.
Yes.
In the UK. And Del Boy was trying to be the big man up against an Indian man. And he said, and I am an oregano professor. And he stood up meaning. And of course, I could see, I think most of the population saw the funny side of it because he was trying to be the big man. So don't come up to me. But when somebody said that, oregano, I think he probably meant obrigado.
I think he did. I think Sarah was trying to teach him. She's a year here in Portugal. She was trying to pass it on to her dad.
Hey, it's fun. It's fun learning. That's the fun side of it. You say a wrong word and you have a little laugh and move on.
And I think the Portuguese people are brilliant with that. They do have a laugh with you and move on. You're not sort of snooty or up themselves about that, and appreciate the trying, I think, there, which I think.
Yes. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So
if you say oregano, but even if you say oregano.
It is a bit like a mange tout, isn't it? In the same way that Del Boy says as well, sort of misappropriating words. Yeah. Great British comedy series there. If you've got any questions about Portuguese language or culture, stick them in the chat, and we'll put them to Filomena.
We still have a few minutes, so we
do. We'll be going through to 9 o'clock, and just going back a little bit. And you were talking about the insanely busy week you've had, Filomena.
Yeah.
Norman, isn't it amazing? We don't often get a chance to thank Filomena or acknowledge the amount of work she does for people, like not just Portuguese people and expats are in Portugal, but a big bunch of Turkish people this week, as it turns out as well.
Yes.
What would you say about Filomena? She's quite an extraordinary person, an incredible asset to the community there in Miranda de Corva, but an incredible asset to our expat community as well, right? Increasingly all over the world, it would appear.
Well, the thing I say about Filomena, she's fantastic because she will explain things.
Yes.
And especially for people like myself that do need the explanations and work out the wording from there. But she has all these different people, and I believe it's 6 languages she can speak.
Amazing. Yeah.
And I have trouble with one. My problem, well, not my problem, my thinking is, hey, she's fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Norman.
Yeah, fantastico, absolutely. Let me echo and second that, Filomena. Thank you so much. You do an incredible amount for other people. And on the face of it, to promote Portuguese language and culture, but you're just an incredible humanitarian as well. I think you just love people and love sharing the joy of life with people, which is evident if anyone ever goes on any of your tours, which are absolutely wonderful. tripsforbrits@gmail.com to be on the mailing list for that.
Although lately I have been so busy that I haven't organized any trip at all. But
it's not a problem. But
I think I have been thinking, Carl, of organizing one to the Azores. Okay.
Yes, that's gonna be incredible. A trip over to the Azores. Have you been there, Norman? Have you been to the islands?
No, the only nearest I ever got to the Azores was seeing it on board ship when we sailed past it.
Oh, okay. Just wave.
Bye-bye. That unfortunately I never did get to.
Right. Okay. The Azores and Madeira, wonderful Portuguese places to go to as well. Incredible. Yes. The other thing about today, and you mentioned before, Filomena, was it's Europe Day. And I'd like to find out the significance of that for Portuguese people. And the other big bit of news that came in last night, we have a new Pope as well, of course, which will be very meaningful.
Yeah, well, I got to know that when I was having dinner yesterday with my Turkish group. I didn't know, because I'm a bit, I'm not following anything while I'm working with the Turkish. And so, but actually, as usual, in the restaurant, there was a TV. And so I got to know that we have a new Pope now.
Amazing. Okay, so that will be Pope Leo, who is I don't know if we've had American popes before, but it's very interesting. We have Trump in the White House and an American pope as well. It's going to be an interesting power dynamic, isn't it? Just when Donald Trump thought he was ruling over quite a few people, along comes an American pope with an even bigger audience. So that's going to be interesting to see unfold. Europe Day then here, celebrated in Portugal. Portugal, of course, one of the oldest nations in Europe, came into existence in 1139. Borders that have barely changed since 1297. Joined the European Union on January the 1st, 1986, and became a member of the Schengen area on March the 26th in 1995, and replaced the escudo. I don't know if you remember those, Norman.
Well,
yes,
we do remember.
Well, they were replaced on January the 1st, 1999, as part of Portugal's journey here in the EU. Well, what's the significance for the Portuguese, Filomena, would you say?
Well, for the Portuguese, of course, for example, when I was teaching at school, and because I was teaching English, I used to, and also not just because I was teaching English, but because I was managing international projects, because I have been doing international projects for many, many years, about 20 years or over 20 years. So then we used to make, for example, an exhibition at school about the importance of being a united group of countries, right? So a cooperative Europe. And this was actually this idea of a united European Union was the first idea was from a French minister, Robert Schuman, in 1950. In 1950, that's when he thought that it would be a good idea if the countries would join together, and together you are always stronger together. Okay?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So, and of course, in Brussels, in Strasbourg, there are lots of official activities to celebrate the 9th of May, Europe Day. And so here in Portugal, as I said, it's basically in schools that sometimes we do some exhibitions. We teach the students what the Europe Day is about. And unfortunately, now we have a war also going on in Europe. But of course, Europe Day is also a day to celebrate peace and cooperation between the countries.
Yeah, absolutely right. And the Schuman Declaration, 1950, so 75-year anniversary celebrated today of that. In part, the declaration was to make war between historic rivals France and Germany not merely unthinkable, but materially impossible. Wasn't that a fantastic and noble aim at that time?
It wasn't at that time. Can I just back one thing up here, if I may? Filomena said, we are strong. I've always believed in the old saying, united we stand, divided we fall.
Yes.
I love the European community as it is, because there's one thing about it. We're all working in the same direction.
Yes.
And we don't have to be the same. We don't have to do what Joe Smith does down the road or whatever.
Yeah.
But hey, if we're working together as a team, I think it'll be around for a long time to come.
That's a great reminder and point there, Norman, is because I think people do get their knickers in a twist about that, don't they? That it's like a homogenization of culture. But you make a wonderful point about it's about the direction we're facing, isn't it? And what vision and mission we have collectively. And at the same time, you can honor diversity within that.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I'll add a little bit more if I may.
Of course, I'd love you to. Love you to.
It's when you're talking about the diversity, okay, I'm English, you're Portuguese, fine. It's different. But we can come together just by talking and being together.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think you will ever meet them and join up together. That's never going to happen. But hey, the closer you get, the nearer, hey, you speak to somebody, they speak back.
Yes.
What more do you want? I mean, nothing more. A bon dia or a beau tard.
That's a good start, isn't it? It's like, what do we share? What can we connect on? We don't have to be the same for peace.
I know we're all different. Every country in the world is different from their neighbors. But hey, come together and we talk.
And even when I participate in international projects, we always introduce, let's say, our country to the others. When I used to take my students with me to, Bulgaria, Romania, Turkey, or all over Europe, and we used to bring or take lots of things from Portugal, namely traditional customs. For example, we have learned how to dance folk dancing. It was terrible, but we had to learn some folk dancing to present there. We always presented Portugal and the other countries, Italy or Turkey or Bulgaria or whatever it was. They also said something about their country. And so we presented our culture to the others. And of course, it was about sharing those different cultures and learning with them. And so it was, that's why it was an interchange of ideas, of cultures. So I've always loved doing that. And I'm still involved, because even now, I have teachers from Turkey, and so I still get involved with this kind of projects, and I love it.
I love that as well. And here we are on the screen, looking like the Treaty of Windsor. There's a great connection, of course, between the Brits and the Portuguese. That, of course, I think was based on having common enemies. And in our day, I think we can base our connections on having common ideals and noble ideals, which I guess connects completely with yoga as well, does it not, Norman?
Yes,
the word means union, doesn't it? And it's about
union. Yes, indeed.
Together we stand in yoga, and divided we fall as well. It's like it is bringing all the body's systems together, isn't it, into unity and accord, which is exactly what we're talking about here on Europe Day. And thank you. It's a lovely note to end on. It's beautiful to hear of this and what really is at stake and what's being celebrated. And just a final word on the Portuguese. I do love the exemplification of that in Portuguese culture generally, of patriotism. It's a patriotic country with a very open mind and an open heart that I think both you and I, Norman, have benefited from.
I think I would say, yes, we have, definitely. As I say expats, as Brits, yes, when you come together with the Portuguese, I'm not going to really say that they are the best in Europe, because I don't know everybody, but in saying that,
we are.
There you go.
I'll say it.
You can come in and you can talk. And nobody's pushing you away. That's how I find it.
That's how it should be.
Reason why I've been here for 20 years.
Absolutely. Yeah, there must be some great reasons. That's one of them. 20 years here celebrating that wonderful culture that you've become a part of. Norman, thank you so much. Lovely to have met you. Filomena, thank you for bringing Norman this morning.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Carl.
All right. Have a great weekend. Bon fin de semana, as we say, right? Oregano to you. All right. Ciao, ciao.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show